Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
So let's see some important questions from this topic. Question number 1. How does chemical coordination takes place in plant? The chemical coordination takes place in plant by special compounds which are called the plant hormones. Plant hormones are released by certain specialized cells which control and coordinate different physiological functions. So what are different types of plant hormones? We'll take up in the next question. What are plant hormones? So if the question is what are plant hormones, you have to explain them that these are certain special kinds of organic compounds released by the plant which control and coordinate various growth and developmental processes in the plant. There are many physiological processes going on in the plant, like growing of the shoot towards light, or you must have seen sunflowers bending towards light, or when you touch the sensitive plant that is Mimosa pudica, which is general name is touch me not. If you touch the leaves they close down. So all such movements and processes, they are controlled by these special chemicals which are called plant hormones. Next question, name various plant hormones and their effect. So these are the 4 main plant hormones which you will study, which I have told you in detail in my previous video. The auxins, gibberellins, cytokinins and abscisic acid. Auxins, gibberellins and cytokinins, these first 3, they are growth promoters, while on the other hand abscisic acid is growth inhibitor. The auxins, they are present in the tips of young roots and shoots, okay, and they promote cell elongation. Fine. Gibberellins, they also cause increase in the height of the flowers and the stem. Cytokinins are present in large concentration in fruits and seeds, so they promote cell division in fruits and seeds, which leads to increase in their size. On the other hand, abscisic acid is a growth inhibitor. So it inhibits the growth, so it leads to wilting of leaves or shedding of parts of the flowers after fertilization. So all these inhibitory actions are taken up because of this chemical which is called abscisic acid. So these are 4 main plant hormones. Next question, differentiate between movement of leaves of sensitive plant and movement of shoot towards light. So these two are totally different movement. First of all, let me explain you. Movement of leaves of sensitive plant. I gave you an example of the plant touch me not. So if you touch the leaves they close down, okay, immediately. So this is the movement of leaves of sensitive plant. On the other hand, movement of shoot towards light. Okay, if you can perform an activity, keep a potted plant in a room and from where the sunlight can enter. So after a certain while you notice the leaves or the shoot part will bend towards the light. Okay, so it's in a closed room and sunlight can enter from here. So we have to differentiate between these 2 kinds of movement. In this we see the movement of bending of shoot, okay, and on the other hand it is the closing down of leaf. So the movement of leaves of the sensitive plant, first of all it is an immediate movement, and secondly it is temporary movement, okay, and the direction is not decided by the stimulus. Wherever you touch on the leaf it will close down. The movement is just the closing down of the or the folding of the leaves, okay. On the other hand, movement of shoot towards light, first of all it is permanent, then it is directional movement, it is towards the light, okay. In that case it was not directional, doesn't matter where you touched the leaf, it will fold. And thirdly, it is permanent movement because this stem has, it is a growth related movement. The cells have grown more on the one side. That is why it is a permanent movement. Next question, how do auxins promote growth of the tendril towards the support? If you have seen it in a pea plant or any kind of the climber, okay, so there is a climber, there are leaves, they have very delicate stem. So there are modified leaves which are called tendrils, and they just revolve around any support they sense, they revolve around it to get support and to climb up. So how does this kind of movement occur? Because you see there is a curvature movement here, in the tendril. So how do auxins promote the movement or growth of tendril towards the support? What happens in a tendril? Okay, so whenever there is a support, what happens? More of the auxins actually they move towards the other side of the. If there is support on the left side, more auxins will get concentrated on the right side. So what will happen? This right side, the cells will elongate. It causes elongation of cell on the other side. So because of uneven growth, this tendril will bend. The stem will bend. Under normal circumstances, the auxins are equally distributed throughout the cells. So the stem will grow in a straight manner. But when there is more concentration on one side, there we can see the bending. So this is what happens when a tendril senses a support. There is more elongation on the other side, which leads to bending. Next question, how do auxins promote phototropism? Photo refers to light and tropic movement is the directional movement. So phototropism means the directional movement of the shoot towards the light. Okay, I just gave you this example. The shoot is showing positive phototropism. They are moving towards the light because light is essential for the plant to carry out photosynthesis. That is why shoots show positive phototropism. Now how does this occur? It is quite similar to this process which I just explained you. So whenever there is a source of light, so what happens? More auxins are secreted in the shady part. Okay, one side is the light, the other is the part where there is shade. So more auxins will get concentrated in the shady part. So more growth on the shady part, which will lead to the bending of this stem towards light. Okay. Next question, what is tropism and what are nastic movements? These are two different kinds of movement in the plants which we see. One is called tropism, another is nastic movement. Tropism is directional movement of the parts of the plant towards external stimuli. I just gave you an example of phototropism, in which the shoots, they move towards light. So shoots show positive phototropism. On the other hand, roots, they show negative phototropism because they grow away from the light. On the other hand, in the nastic movement, the movement is not directional. It is not decided, the direction of movement is not decided by the stimulus. For example, folding of leaves of Mimosa pudica. In that case, so that when you touch, the movement of leaf is not decided by the direction of the touch. So such movements are called nastic movements. Next question, design an experiment to demonstrate phototropism, hydrotropism or geotropism. In case of phototropism, you can design this experiment. You keep a potted plant inside a room near a window from which sunlight can enter. So after a few days, what we will observe that all the leaves and the shoot, they bend towards towards the window from where sunlight is entering. So this proves that shoots of the plant, they show positive phototropism. The second part is hydrotropism. Hydro refers to water. So the movement of the plant part towards water is called hydrotropism. In plants, the roots, they show positive hydrotropism because roots have to absorb water, so they move towards the water source. So what can you do which activity you can perform? You take a big beaker and fill it up with the sand. Okay, this is sand. Then you keep a porous pot here filled with water. This is water in the plant. Okay, so this is sand which is dry. It does not have any water, but it's a porous pot, so water can come out of this pot. Now you grow up seedling in this. Okay, just keep a small seedling in this sand. So after a few days, you can take actually this beaker, if it is made up of glass, it's very easy to notice the movement of the roots. So after a few days, what we'll notice is this root is growing towards this source of water. Okay, so this kind of movement of roots towards the source of water shows hydrotropism, positive hydrotropism shown by roots. Third is the geotropism. Geo refers to the gravity or towards the earth. So you know that roots grow towards the gravity, so they show positive geotropism. On the other hand, the shoots show negative geotropism, that is, they grow against the gravity. For this, you can take a little small potted plant, okay, and keep it like this. So this is the plant which you took, okay, and just keep it tilted like this. After a few days, what you will notice is that the shoots, they start growing upwards. No matter what is the direction of this pot, the shoot always shows negative geotropism. They grow against the gravity, while on the other hand, the roots will show positive geotropism. They'll move towards the gravity. This is an activity which you can perform to show geotropism. That's all from the second chapter. Second topic. Let's move on to the next topic.